Today we're going to take a painting or a drawing and turn it into a paper weaving. I grabbed this from the Beautiful Oops. You could also make something. We want to use this larger size painting or drawing paper for this to work. You'll also need a ruler, pencil, some papers like magazine or construction paper. Mrs. Hayes can cut strips for you. And then the first thing we're going to do is take our paper and fold it in half, hamburger style. So we want to make sure our corners and edges meet. And then the fold is here. Okay, and then the other end is here. So what we're going to do, the opening end, we're going to take our ruler and we're going to line it up with the top of the paper as best as we can. When I'm holding a ruler to draw, I want to spread my fingers out so the ruler doesn't move around. And I'm going to draw a straight line across. So we should have a space like that across the top of our paper. Then we're going to turn our ruler sideways. And we are going to hold it and make lines. When you make your next line, line up the edge of the ruler with that first line you make. Again, hold it in the middle so your ruler does not slide around. And we're going to continue doing this all the way across the paper until you have lines all the way across the paper. And it's okay if your lines are not perfect. However, you do not want your lines to be too close together. So that's why we're using the ruler. That last one is a little more, so I'm just going to leave it like that. The next thing I will need to do is grab a pair of scissors. And with our scissors, we are going to cut along these lines, stopping at the line at the top. Again, it's okay if your lines are not perfect. We just want to make sure that they are not too close together. And then now would be a good time to make sure your name and class is on the back. And this is a good place to put your name and class so that it will show up once we start weaving. Then we open it up and you should have these evenly spaced slots all the way across your paper. If you want to use construction paper, you can grab some different colors. If you want to do a pattern, you can think about what pattern you might want to do. And then we will start weaving under, over this one. So then lift up the next one, over that one. So we're going every other strip, weaving that strip of paper through your painting. And then we will slide it all the way down. And you can leave that for now. At the end, we will do some dots of glue at either end so your papers don't slide out. So because I went under this one, I'm going to go over it this time. So sometimes it helps to reach from below and pop that paper up. So if I went on top of that strip last time, I'm going to go under it the next time. And this will help us create our pattern. Slide that down. If you don't slide it down, you won't have as much room for your paper strips. And you can see I'm starting to get that checkerboard design. So I'm going to continue my pattern of yellow and pink. This time I'm going to go under. And slide that down. All right, so let's say you wanted to try some different papers. The main thing to remember is that your paper should be as long as this. Mine magazine page is a tiny bit short, but I'm going to try it anyways just to show you how this looks. So I would use your ruler, line it up along the edge of your paper that you're using, and you can draw lines with your pencil. I'm going to line it up with the previous line. And then we'll cut some of these strips. I want the fruit to show, so I'm going to use the strips from the center. Now, if you wanted to have some fun with these weavings, you could also cut some funny lines using the silly scissors or your regular scissors. So you could also try creating some textured lines. Now, this is going to be a little short, so it will work on my next row, and I'll show you what I mean by that. All right, so I'm going to put this one under, over, and so this back row, it just barely touches because it's kind of short. That's okay though, we can do a little dot of glue there. So once you have done your weaving all the way across, you can get a glue stick or liquid glue, and we will start attaching these. And you can also do this before you're done, especially if you feel like your papers are starting to come loose. So we just put a little bit of glue and hold that down. If you're using liquid glue, make sure you twist it open, pick the dry glue off the top, shake it down, just a dot, not a lot. So anywhere you see a loose piece of paper, you'll glue that down so your weaving stays together. So I will also flip it over and do the same thing on the back. Just a dot, not a lot. And then these weavings, because there's wet glue on them, definitely need to go in the drying rack. So again, make sure that your name and class is on your weaving. Make sure you hold those down so they dry. Remember, when you're done with glue sticks, we twist them down, put the cap back on. When we're done with glue bottles, we twist it closed, wipe off the top with a paper towel. Happy weaving!